Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
Another major news, equally important, that we got in Venezuela, but this time is not confirmed, like the transition board, is the probability of Venezuela becoming basically, I'm not going to say a U.S. territory, but allegedly, the U.S. is right now considering taking over Venezuela for the rebuilding process. It's something that, like I said, we are going to address each week, but this time, the United States apparently wants to be completely involved on the rebuild of Venezuela. And first, this particular news comes from ABC from Spain. This particular media outlet from Spain has excellent intel on the White House, thanks to their Washington correspondent, David Alandete, that most of the time he's spot on the intel that he gets from the White House. According to him, right now, there is a project that is being discussed of taking over completely the rebuild of Venezuela. That will include an additional 3,000 member personnel made by military engineers and also civilian professionals, and committing an extra $3 billion for the rebuild of, the roads, infrastructure destroyed during the earthquake. And this rebuild, not only the thing is, it's not only just about rebuilding this particular area of La Guaira, Venezuela, destroyed after the earthquake, but the implications beyond that. According to Alandete, it will be a similar arrangement of the U.S. Marshall Islands, that is de facto a U.S. territory, similar to Puerto Rico. It's a weird situation, and I'm no expert on the legality. Basically, the U.S. Marshall Islands are part of the U.S. territory, but they are not. But the people from the Marshall Islands have similar benefits as a U.S. citizen. I mean, I don't want to get on that particular side of the legality, but indeed, Alandete used the Marshall Islands on his report. Now, the implications are huge on several levels. The first, of course, we need a rebuild ASAP, and the news on that regard has been pretty optimistic due to the circumstances on the past couple of weeks. We have addressed that, of course, and we're going to address a little bit more on that later. So the short-term necessity is rebuilding ASAP, at least starting the rebuild. And on that department, those are excellent news, not only to Venezuela, but to the U.S. government, especially the Trump administration, since they are heavily involved in Venezuela after, the January 3 operation. And any bad news that comes from Venezuela this time will be a U.S. responsibility. So basically, they will be involved on the nation building process. So on that regard, it's a win-win situation on both sides, the Venezuelan people and the Trump administration. And there has been very little pushback from U.S. citizens on giving a hand regarding the reconstruction of Venezuela. Also, thank you, the people from the United States. That's one thing. But the consequences of doing so, first, we have to talk about the military presence in Venezuela. According to statements from the U.S. Southcom and journalists specialized, the United States has over 2,000 military personnel right now in Venezuela. Remember last year we were talking about these U.S. Navy vessels and Puerto Rico, Iwo Jima, and whatever that they might land, they might not land in Venezuela, whatever. They are already in the country. You have Marines right now actively working in Venezuela, of course, mostly for humanitarian purposes. But overall, you have these 2,000 personnel plus an extra 1,000 personnel that includes diplomats, businessmen, like you guys say in the United States, pencil pushers or whatever, so specialized people. So you have 3,000 personnel as we are aware right now, open source, but we can increase that personnel to 6,000, and most of that personnel will be military plus important equipment. Now, of course, it's mostly for diplomatic purposes, humanitarian purposes that they are doing. By the way, they are doing that. That's not, a cover or a front or whatever. And the rebuilding process. Also, you have to include that significant personnel from the IDF, the Israeli army, yet again for humanitarian purposes. They are recovering bodies from the rubble. They are doing the analysis for the rebuild in Venezuela. We discussed that. Also, civilians from Japan. We're going to address that a little bit later. And so you have the IDF, but indeed you have military personnel that until a few months they were hostile enemies of the Chavistas, not the Venezuelan people. And right now they are the biggest partners during the reconstruction. Now, some people are saying that Russia and China, the old friends of the Chavistas, are not helping. I have to say they are mostly sending humanitarian supplies. So we have to give credit when credit is due. The United States has helped a lot. Israel has helped a lot. But also Russia and China, they have not been, let's say, diplomatically active, but they also have sent aid, because most Venezuelans are saying that it's not the case. Russia and China indeed have sent humanitarian supplies. And just recently, we thank also the people of Russia and China and the representatives for sending that help. Otherwise, this time we are not, on political debates. We need to save lives and take care of, the emergency that we have right now. Okay, moving on. We have this particular personnel. And the implications are that there is a lot of suspicions of a complete military occupation of Venezuela. That's basically the rumor, the skepticism, whatever you want to call it. And but indeed, we have military presence. And according to this project that is right now on discussion, according to David Alandete, the occupation might be total. I mean, not that Alandete didn't say that. He mentioned just the rebuilding thing, but it's going to involve several military personnel from the United States. Now, the last implication, and this is according to Alandete himself, is a similar arrangement to the U.S. Marshall Islands. The Marshall Islands, like I said, basically a U.S. territory, de facto. And de facto, the citizens are U.S. citizens. I mean, they are not U.S. citizens. It's a weird legal situation, but they have basically most of the benefits of a U.S. citizen. So, another complexity level. Now, is this going to happen? Well, I don't know. I don't work in the White House, and I don't have White House, Washington correspondent sources like David Alandete, so just going to like it is. Yeah, first, something that we can take for granted is a significant involvement of the United States during the rebuild, the reconstruction of La Guaira. That's a given. We have it right now. I mean, mostly for humanitarian efforts, and the United States has collaborated significantly on this process. The communications hasn't been great, and we have discussed that on the past month, but regarding actions, they indeed are taking the action. Also regarding help, they have been sending roughly $400 million just on humanitarian help through different NGO members, partners from the U.S. State Department, like the Global Empower Mission, and Samaritan Spurs, and a handful of others. And they are, by the way, they are doing the work. We are seeing on the street the humanitarian supplies for the people that lost their homes, a hospital, a full installed cutting edge hospital by Samaritan Spurs that is going to stay in the country. So we are very grateful. They have even surgical capacities on that particular medical facility. So the work is being done and is being used correctly. Thank you very much for that. Now, the main question is on which will be the extent of the involvement of the United States. We discussed in the previous segment the impulse of this particular transition board that will have superior powers to the current Congress in Venezuela. That will rebuild the institutions that we do not have right now. Good on that. And basically, that's the biggest issue in Venezuela. After, of course, the short-term needs that we are going to have, mostly in La Guaira, after the airport. So both of these issues right now apparently are being taken care of. But the main question, just with this particular report from David Alandete, remains: is that Venezuela is going to become a U.S. territory, or is just a good deed humanitarian effort in order to rebuild Venezuela that we actually need? So honestly, I don't know. We are going to just let the facts lead us as always, but we're going to try to be ahead of the curve.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again and have a nice day.